One is the book, The African Origin of Biological Psychiatry. And this is a book that I have worked on for at least, oh goodness, all of my adult life. And then it was published in the journal Uraeus, which is a publication of the Aquarian Spiritual Center in Los Angeles from the years 1982 through 1978 through 1982. These are the articles that I contributed. And there are other articles published thereafter. And in this came the series of articles named Uraeus, parts 1 through 4, and Black Dot, parts 1 through 3. Earlier work had been done on esoteric theory of press theory, and earlier work and then more recent work was published that was never published anyplace else, and that was on the Eye of Horus as it is defined in the pyramid text, and the Eye of Horus as it is defined in the coffin text. The pyramid text, or the text of ancient Egypt, dating from the time of the Old Kingdom, 3000 BC to about 2200 BC, or roughly almost 5,000 years ago. The coffin text, or the Middle Kingdom text, roughly about 2200 to about 1800 or so BC. That's the middle period. So these are the religious texts in which we find that Africans had talked about melanin under the heading of the word Kamp, K-M. What does Kim mean? It means black. And as Carol Barnes in this book did make known, that the study of chemistry, study of Chem black, is really the study of blackness. In particular, the study of organic chemistry. The study of those chemicals that contain large amounts of the atom known as carbon, C-A-R-B-O-N. Carbon, the same atom that makes up diamond earrings, diamond rings, crystalline form, but in its more liquid form, it is blackness. The graphite on your pencil? What about the blackness on your skin? The black in your coloring of your eyes? The black in your brain, yes, melanin in the core of the brain. So that in this book, we reviewed, especially in Black Dots Part 1, 2, and 3, the biological record of blackness as it operates in biological systems from before birth, from conception, all the way through the gestation in the mother's womb and the birth thereafter. We could show blackness in every life stage. But yet, the great lie continues that blackness is a sign of being inferior. Blackness, or melanin, the chemical that is responsible for black pigmentation, is a sign of being second-rate, of being dirty, of being more like an animal, of being not as advanced as those people who have golden hair and light skin. And that is the biggest lie that was ever put out.
Take me across her lap. She used to whip me with a strap when I was bad. I was bad.
That's why when you're dealing with a light, you want want to deal with the duality of things.
That's true.
So if you're looking at this side as being light, then you also have to look at the duality of it being darkness.
Indeed.
And understanding the beauty of what the darkness means.
That's right.
You understand that there's different definitions of darkness or blackness.
Let's deal with the ancient. Let's deal with the ancient definitions. Let's deal with the ancestral definition. You know, the ancient science of darkness and black.
Absolutely.
Or better yet, the symbolism.
And as well as the symbolism.
Absolutely.
Because the symbolism of black, like I was saying in the class, it has a metaphysic definition also.
Oh, indeed.
Definition,
No question.
symbolism.
No question.
And when we break down that symbolism, we understand that, you know, that's some of the highest energy that we could comprehend, you know what I mean, in our own psyche, you know what I mean? So it's kind of important that we kind of correct, you know, what's been said about black and start feeding the peoples the metaphysic, the esoteric or the cosmic relationship of black.
Indeed.
Right.
That's how it has to be explained.
Sure.
And that's how I always dealt with it. And that's how the God dealt with it. You know what I mean? And I think he was gonna begin to discuss exactly what you were saying. So
And I think that's something that be put into the proper context, because there's a beauty and there's a life about blackness as well. You know, one of the profound parts of the teaching of what you hear is that black means death, and that's true. But see, it's simply not a complete statement. It's not that it's a false statement. It's 100% true. It's simply not a complete statement, because you have to understand that when somebody says that black, according to science, means death, you have to then specify what form of science that you're talking about. We have different schools of thoughts of science. If we're talking about agriculture, then we're talking about the black soil being the most fertile soil. So that's an indication of life.
That's right.
And if you look at how, if in that same soil, if the sun is beating down on, say, dog poop or manure, it turns white. That's an indication of death. So black means life, and white soil means death. We're talking about agriculture, if we're talking about financial, black means life, because that means that you are making a profit. Red means death, because that means that you are in debt. If we're talking about the natural science of how we age as individuals, the older that I get, now that I'm in my 40s, as I go to my 50s and my 60s, my hair will then develop and turn white.
That's right.
But when I was young and in my youth and as a baby, then it was black. So black means life and white means death. Now in the context of the law, because law is a science, I can be a PhD in law, I can be a doctor of law.
Right.
So that means that there's a science of law.
That's right.
Black means death. It is an indication that you are on a dead level.
That's right.
White means life in law. And so you have to understand that there are different contexts of science. You don't just limit it. And in the spiritual and cosmic sense, there's nothing higher than darkness.
That's right.
The highest mother of all colors is blackness. From blackness comes every color of the spectrum, because black is not a color, but is the mother in which all colors come from. The Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, blue, indigo, and violet. All of them come from blackness. And white is the absence of all of that, but there's a beauty in all of these colors. So we have to understand that in the scientific and the cosmic level, blackness is a beautiful thing and not just limited to one form of science. You want to add on that?
Yeah, God, I just wanted to say true indeed. I mean, you know, not only that, the cosmos is a manifestation of a feminine principle. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everything that God just spit, I mean, I can't say it better. I can't say it no better. But I will add on and just say it is a symbol of a creative principle, because in the universe or the cosmos, it's a planet and it's a star being born every day. You know what I'm saying? There's a manifestation of something coming into existence every day inside of that principle, that blackness or whatever, that cosmological dynamic. You know what I'm saying? So it's a feminine principle. It gives birth. You know what I mean? And the great thing about our ancestors was that they studied the heavens for 50,000 years before they brought it down. You understand what I mean? They brought it down. They actually took the science of the cosmos and put physical representations on the planet Earth. So you see a heaven and a new earth, in a sense. You know what I mean? This is all symbolism, as above, so below. That's what that means, man. You know what I mean? Everything that's up here is already here too. It's down here. You know what I mean? So that whole science of blackness, out of the blackness came with birth, or out of that blackness there's a power and an authority that sits inside of that cosmological dynamic. And we know what power is, and we know what authority is. Matter of fact, brother, do you have your dictionary, that word book down here, brother?
It's upstairs, I could get it.
Yeah, get it, because some words, see, I want to define words too as we speak, because our people sometimes, you know, we use words and we use it out of the wrong context, because we don't even know what we say sometimes. So when I'm speaking and I'm saying certain things, I want to be able to help you identify exactly what I mean and break certain words down. So when I'm saying that there's a power and authority in the blackness of the cosmological dynamic that translates over to the DNA of man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because as above, so below, microcosm of the macrocosm, so on and so forth. I'm going to show you that power and authority, what that power and authority means, because as above, so below. You know what I mean?
My brother.
Everything is being born. And that in that universe is a symbol also of the womb.
Of the womb.
Of the womb.
That's right. That shows when it did give that physical form, when you see the goddess Nu.
That's right. There you go.
You see within that woman is the heavenly bodies itself. You understand? So you need the Gab or the husband in order to add that balance. But when you saw the form of the universe, it came in the form of a woman, because a woman is a walking representation of the universe. You know, so there's value and there's a priceless amount that you can put on the womb that shapes the human being as they develop and they grow.
True indeed. Now remember, I mentioned, I just said that there's a power and an authority that allows certain dynamics, that allows, you know, the divine cosmological blackness. You know what I mean? There's a power and authority that's connected to it. That
Take me across her lap. She used to whip me with a strap when I was bad. When I was bad, when I was bad, take me across her lap. She used to whip me with a strap when I was bad.